Nicodemus here. On today's episode, I want to discuss special relationships. Why are so many relationships existing in a constant state of conflict and just losing peace?
Yeah, you look at, so many relationships, so many end in divorce, conflict throughout, and it almost seems like they alternate between love and hate. And what the Course says is that the special relationship is built on this idea that we can find our specialness, really the specialness that was withheld from God. So if you know the story of like the fallen angel, right? Or like we fell from grace, got kicked out of the garden. This idea, story of the prodigal son, like we went looking for our own kingdom, our own heaven, because it was almost like, what's it like to be other than God? I can find heaven for myself, which really is the birth of the special relationship. It's seeking for the specialness that we feel like God denied us. Because I want to be special. Like I want to be the one. I don't want any other humans to be special. I just want me. And everybody lives their life trying constantly. Think about this. How much of their day is making themselves bigger in their own eyes or in the eyes of someone else? When I say bigger, like more special. So what ends up happening is because we're seeking out for specialness that we feel like was denied, we start to look for it in things and specifically in people. And the special relationship, of course, has an interesting line. It says the special relationship is the ego's chief weapon for keeping you from heaven. And you know the relationship is based on specialness when it turns into hate. Anytime it turns into hate, it's built on specialness. Now, obviously until my marriage, I don't know that I've ever had a relationship where I didn't fight with someone. I don't, my wife would be the only one that in 12 years, like we've never fought. It's never been hatred, not once, because we both came into it. We had studied the Course and we really, it's like we're committed to this being a holy relationship. That's the flip side, what the Course calls a holy relationship, a relationship where two people are already whole and they come together to express wholeness. That's not what we were taught though. What we were taught was see someone as a body, right? And then all the sexual stuff that comes with that and the heightened, almost like sex becomes like a drug, right? And then it's like, what is that? Jerry Maguire, you complete me. Like that's just the biggest crock of BS. Because the idea that someone or something could complete us, and we've experienced it the deepest in our intimate relationship, especially as we get older. We can almost say like our parents are like that first special relationship, but it gets transitioned pretty fast. But as we get older, you'll see it in like the honeymoon phase of a relationship. People are like, oh man, you're everything to me. And then when they get to know each other, like really know each other, it turns into like, I don't know if I like you. The love turns to hate. What the Course says is where love turns to hate, it was never love in the first place. It was just hate disguised as love. And that's where the special relationship is built on, is underneath the special relationship. The Course calls it the special love relationship. Underneath that is the special hate relationship that we really have with ourselves. Because deep down, there's a part of us that like we think is ugly and we think is weak and is dark and disconnected, which is really what we're afraid of, is God and of love. We just seek it out, a substitute of it in the world, in this person, but no person can ever fill that gap or fill that space or fill that hatred. And it's not like you walk around like, I hate myself. Some people do, but it just shows up in this. I know that I'm going to say this, and this might be deep for some people, but if you're listening to this podcast, you got to already resonate with something that's deep, because we're not talking about, shallow type things here. Is that we all have within us this concealed desire to kill, to dominate, to hurt, to possess, to take, that's in all of us. We have the voice of spirit and the voice of the ego. The ego is literally the voice of war. It is the voice of hatred. So of course we have that in us. So underneath the special love relationship, what the Course says is the special hate relationship, and that we can't limit the hate. You can't just bury it underground out of sight, and then it just rears its head every so often, which is what most relationships do, right? Oh, it's great now, we're good. As Eckhart Tolle says, oh, when the pain body's done feeding, it's like, I love you again. And then it just starts to build up again. And then, it ends in a fight again, and it ends in what all the maybe violence at extreme or just hateful words. All of that is an attempt to offset the hate, but not to actually let it go. And what you start to realize is that you stop seeking out love and special love in the world because you realize that you are love, and that a relationship's not about getting love. It's about giving love and bringing love to it. And then you realize I don't want to bring or give anything other than love because that's all I want returned to me, because love is what we are and only love is real. Special love is a mask over the hatred, over the separation, over the gap in us that we try to use a person or sex or, to fill up. And anyone who does that, it ends up, the relationship doesn't last. This is why a lot of people have said, like, I don't understand how you can not get into a fight with your wife. I mean, we don't agree on everything. It's not like we're pushovers or doormats or anything like that. It's just this understanding that I'm here to be truly helpful, to express love. And all I want is love returned. I'm only interested in holiness or wholeness. That is the true relationship of love that we can start to create, not just in our intimate relationship, but with all of our relationships, have them be whole and healed, and have them be built on true love, real love, that agape type love that's not built on, I need you to be a certain way. And as long as you fit in with that, I love you. And if you don't, I hate you, which is how most people learn to do relationships, from their parents, from Hollywood, from the movies. And no wonder that it transitions to hate so easily and so quickly. And it alternates between love and hate, which is not really love at all. It's just an appearance of love, special love, to try to offset the hate and make it better, feel better, or buried underground and out of sight. Our job is to actually bring it up and give it over to spirit and please teach me only love.